Good morning, listeners of Hot Topic and Fresh News. Today, April 21st, 2024, at 6:51 a.m., bringing you the critical updates from around the world. In today's top story, the widow of Alexei Navalny raises alarms over the unpredictable actions of Russian President Vladimir Putin, warning of a potential nuclear threat. She equates the surprise of Russia's aggressive invasion of Ukraine with the fear that Putin could use nuclear weapons. Further unfolding, the recent arrests of Russian spies in Europe, including 2 in Bavaria and another in Poland accused of planning to assassinate Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, underscore a covert war strategy by Moscow. Navalny's widow criticizes Europe's delayed response to the Kremlin's threats, asserting that earlier awareness could have prevented tragedies. Despite the risks, she remains committed to opposing Putin and hopes for eventual reconciliation between Russia and Ukraine, although acknowledging the challenges posed by Putin's regime. She received the German Freedom Prize of the Media, emphasizing the need for continued Western support against Putin's administration. Stay tuned as we continue to monitor these escalating global tensions. Good morning, everyone. This is Emily, your host.
And I'm David News Talk.
Glad you're here with us today on Hot Topic and Fresh News. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to stay updated with our daily news coverage. Straight to the hot topics. Continuing our discussion on the tensions escalating from Russia, the widow of Alexei Navalny has voiced grave concerns over the unpredictability of Russian President Vladimir Putin. Highlighting his potential to use nuclear weapons, she reflects on the shock of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine back in February 2022. This action was a stark turnaround from the strong historical ties once shared between the two nations. Navalny's widow stresses the opaque and fear-driven leadership of Putin, leaving the international community guessing about his next moves.
Can you give us more specifics on how this unpredictable behavior is manifesting currently?
Absolutely. Recently, there have been arrests of suspected Russian spies in Europe, which she sees as further evidence of Russia's covert operations within the continent. Just this week, 2 German-Russian dual nationals were detained in Bavaria. They're accused of scouting targets for possible acts of sabotage in Germany on behalf of Moscow. Additionally, in Poland, security agencies arrested a man allegedly involved in planning an assassination attempt on Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. This pattern of behavior underscores a long-standing strategy by Putin to wage war by any means necessary across Europe.
Those are indeed very alarming actions. What's being done in response?
Navalny's widow is calling for the strongest possible support from Western nations to counteract Putin's aggressive maneuvers. She emphasizes the need for vigilance and a proactive stance to prevent further escalation, particularly highlighting how earlier recognition of these threats could have mitigated some of the conflicts and loss of lives we've seen. In a personal reflection amidst these turbulent times, Navalny expressed her deep desire to return to Russia for the sake of revisiting her husband's grave and the homeland her children dream of. Despite the chaos and the dangers, her hope to return remains strong. She shared these sentiments while receiving the German Freedom Prize of the Media at the Ludwig Erhard Summit, a significant recognition of her ongoing struggle and voice against oppression.
That's a profound emotional anchor for her. Does she see any foreseeable change in the current situation, particularly with the conflict in Ukraine?
She's quite candid about the complexities of the Ukraine conflict, acknowledging that there's no simple solution on the horizon. The entanglement caused by Putin's actions has severely strained relations, making any form of reconciliation challenging. Yet, she remains hopeful that opposition within Russia could sooner than expected destabilize Putin's regime, driven by the growing discontent among the Russian populace about the war.
It seems there's a significant undercurrent of resistance within Russia itself.
Exactly. Navalny pointed out the crucial distinction that Russia is not synonymous with Putin. There are numerous anti-war and anti-Putin activists within the country, though many are silenced by fear of immediate imprisonment. She hopes that increased resistance will prevent further mobilizations for the war, emphasizing the importance of vocal and substantial support from the West for these activists. Thanks for tuning into Hot Topic and Fresh News today. We've delved deep into the concerning developments surrounding Russia and its foreign policy challenges. It's always a pleasure to bring you the most pressing news. Remember to subscribe, activate notifications, and share our channel. Every like, comment, and share helps us bring you more insightful content. We value your engagement immensely.
And hey, make sure you don't miss our daily episodes. There's always something interesting brewing on the horizon. Who knows what tomorrow's news will bring? But one thing's for sure, it will be worth tuning in for. So, keep those notifications on.
We truly appreciate your support and are eager to bring you more in-depth analysis in our upcoming episodes. Thank you for being such an integral part of our community.
And remember, whether you're here for the facts or the occasional chuckle, we've got you covered.
Stay in the loop, keep your eyes on the news, our channel's content will amuse.